How's it going, guys? We are live. Welcome. Today, we are going to be talking about pre-probates. Pretty exciting, guys. So I'm live here with my dad, Rick Ginn. We both operate the largest real estate wholesaling operation on the Treasure Coast here. And probates, I did want to talk about a little about today, but Rick's definitely the expert. 19 years in probates. He's done millions and millions and millions of dollars of profits in wholesaling with probate. So without further ado, let's get it going with Rick before I got to hop off here.
Okay, guys. So let's jump right into it and talk about pre-probates. And so you've heard the word pre-foreclosure before, right?
Yeah.
So hearing the word pre-probates is actually a little bit shocking. You probably never heard about it. So it's real simple. A pre-probate is basically somebody that has passed away, which is indicated by a death record, and they own a property in a certain county, town, like whatever it is. When you take a death record and a property record, you put them together, that's the qualification for a pre-probate. So you're probably saying, Rick, what's the advantage of it? It's like, that means not every one of them are going to be sellable properties. The huge advantage of this, and I found this out the hard way, is there is a huge percentage of houses that sell that actually don't go through the probate process.
Yep.
And whenever there's a life event like death, there is a high priority that property is going to sell. So how do you find a property that didn't go through probate, but there's a death record and they want to sell? Pre-probates is your answer. I've been looking for this golden ticket forever. So the old school way and some of the old school teachings, the only way you could do a pre-probate is you actually had to comb the obituaries. The problem with obituaries is unless the family or a loved one or even a business partner reports it, you don't know about it. And I don't know about you, I don't have access to death records, do you?
Nope.
Okay, and it's not public information. So when you put the two together, it's absolutely amazing. Keep in mind when you have properties. So let me give you an example of a property that wouldn't go through probate that someone had died. Now, if you have multiple people on title, and I'm not going to get into the legalities, how ownership works and how you title them, but if there's two people on a property and one passes away, depending on how the title is, it can easily transfer to the other person without going through a probate. One of the common ways to do this, guys, is just a husband and wife. So if it's their primary home and they have an exempt status in their state, meaning it's their primary residence, they usually have to live there at least 2 years or longer, and that's their domicile, that property actually doesn't have to go through probate. And the crazy things is they're probably our top property we buy. So they go through a process called a summary administration. And it's basically the process of taking a pre-probate, showing the judge it doesn't need to go to probate, and they file a motion and it's taken out of probate. And then someone like myself or Zach can go ahead and buy that property. I would say 40% of the probates I buy are that exact scenario I just explained. And so the only way I can find that property is when somebody files a motion for a summary administration. Guess what, guys? With the pre-probate process through listrei.com, you can now beat the guy who waits for the court record because you get it through listrei.com. And it gives you a huge advantage for being the first person to reach out and contact them. Now, it's not going to be completely perfect. Sometimes the property gets sold or you missed it. But using listrei.com, knowing you get 10,000 leads and you can use your pre-probate leads, and most pre-probates, I just ran our county records, and I got to go over one of our leads because it's going to blow you away. I forgot to tell you about it. Somebody passed away.
Oh, no.
Where was I on that? I went through it. It was
one of those deals down south.
It was our friend in Port St. Lucie.
Oh no!
Yes. Anyways,
the guy in New York.
Yeah, You know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to say it.
Oh.
I was scrolling through. I was like, wow, this thing's really cool.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
So I ran the entire county.
I'm about to get paid.
And I came up with 300 leads.
Woo!
So it's not huge. So every county is a little bit different. It should be proportional to your.
Where are you talking?
It's right there. If you don't switch the windows.
Okay,
you'll screw it up.
Did he pop up on Propstream?
He did. I was pulling the list, so I was just double checking and seeing when we pull our probates, and he was on the top of the list.
Oh my god.
So, anyways, it's now you lost my train of thought. So there was 300 total for the last 30 days. So I don't want you to worry that it's going to be, oh my God, it's going to be 5,000 leads. It's not. There's a small amount of leads. So of that 300, if 50 are relative today, in this last week or two, if you keep pulling it per week, like I only have 50 to 60 that pull up in my particular county. Now, I do 5 counties, and that is the beauty of pre-probates. I love pre-probates until it was available through listrei.com. You had to pay ridiculous amounts of money to go through court records to either pull them yourself or have a third-party service do it. I don't know of any other service that provides a solution, and I am actually blown away by this. So it's not perfect, but I will tell you guys, for the value you get, I used to pay $800 to $1,000 a month to try to pull information for this.
Explain, how much money do we pay a VA to pull probates for us?
It was ridiculous. It was at least $800 a month just to pull the records and do everything. So this is huge. You guys have a gift, and I'm telling you, pre-probates, it's for real. It's not a scam. In the old days, as I said, people used to comb obituaries and sell you the information. Now you're getting the death record. You're getting the property record. Now we just have to teach you how to reach out to these people and contact them to get a deal. So now you know how to get the pre-probates.
Well, I want to explain this really quick. So when we did a video like talking about Propstream's pre-probate, Rick talked about it pretty much in the beginning. Like, this is very experimental. We haven't done our research. I'm letting the probate expert look at it. We looked into it hard before we would go behind the live here and talk about it. And it works. Like before we talk about like this stuff, we've proved it. It works. So that's why in this video, guys, just so you guys know, we're doing the full breakdown of pre-probates today, like from start, because we've done it. Like, we know how to get the leads from them now. So we're doing the full pre-probate, give you the scripts, give you everything. It's really crazy. But the one thing I'm telling you about pre-probates, obviously you're going to beat your typical real estate other wholesaler, your competition. I'm not scared of that, because if you watch this YouTube channel, you already know the right acquisitions training to do. You hear everything from me and Rick. So you're fine with that, beating other wholesalers. The cool part about this pre-probate is now you're going to whoop the realtors that are sending the mail out to your probates. That's the big advantage I see. But take it away.
Because realtors are big competitors on it. So don't you have somewhere to be here?
Yeah, I gotta go to a meeting. But let's have Rick take it away. I mean, 19 years. Let's get it going.
I got it. So let's
the brains of the operation.
Okay.
So let's get it going.
I'll see you, son.
See you guys.
Thanks. So let's talk about, you have the list. Got it. Hang her down.
Yeah.
So you have your pre-probate list. The next method you're probably asking me is, Rick, how do I attack it? So if I was just starting out, or I actually do this, so it doesn't matter, is I'm looking for the fastest path of least resistance to get to these probates. So to me, there's only 3 ways to do it. There's actually 4, but I'm only going to talk about 3. Number 1, you can mail to them, which honestly, if you guys are going to mail to pre-probates or any type of probates, I strongly recommend you do it in letter format. You can have a form letter, sign the bottom of it in blue ink, make it personal, stuff it in an envelope, and hand address the envelope. That is your highest and best use to get the letter open. I know what you're saying, Rick. That's slow. You're old school. You're 19 years in this business. Wake up and come around. I agree with you. Okay. So it took me a long time to come around, and competition forced me to be more aggressive. Truth be told, my son, Zach, actually forced me to do it. So he took on the lead and we learned from it. So SMS and cold calling, it absolutely works. All I ask you is to be a decent human being when you reach out to these people. It's really that simple. So SMS, cold calling, direct mail, or if you're really good, you're going to do a combination of all three. And that's the best way to penetrate. And as I said, using the listrei.com and using the pre-probates, you already have an account set up. It's not really costing you anymore. If you want to do some mail, you might spend 20 or 30 bucks a month, maybe even 100. I mean, that's not a lot of money. And if you're already doing cold calling and SMS, you can incorporate it in there. It's the 1, 2, 3 punch, and it works. Guys, don't expect to get 30 and 50 and 100 phone calls on it. You only need 1 or 2. And as I've told you, my most profitable deals, hands down, to this date, we just did 2 of them, are probates. Okay, my most profitable deals back in 2003 were probates. Guys, listen to me. I'm telling you, I'm speaking from experience. Find a way to target on these probates and get them. It's not enough to keep you super busy, but I will tell you, it will point you to the gold as fast as possible. So I made a couple notes on here because SMS is changing. It feels like it's changing by the day. So if you guys say, Rick, what are you talking about SMS? Like, don't freak out. But the carriers in SMS, I'm talking about Verizon, Sprint, T-Mobile, all the major carriers, they're trying everything to prevent people like you and me to send out these mass messages. So they're looking for some sort of human element. So here's what you need to do when you do it. When you send out your SMS, you're going to simply say, John, are you the owner? ? That is your first text response. It's that simple. It gets past the carriers. It doesn't look like spam, and it increases your odds of them responding to you. The name of the game in marketing is if you don't get a phone call, you don't get a response on a text, or you don't get a connection cold call, you cannot do a deal, at least on the first shot or the second shot or sometimes the third shot. So if they respond positive in a manner, you now have permission to engage that person. And it simply is, I'm a cash investor looking to buy houses in your area. Love this house. Want to know more information. It's just really simple. It's got to be human. If you keep sending out the exact same message every time, these carriers are going to start filtering you, and your delivery rate's going to keep dropping down and down. Now, I'm not the expert on SMS. You guys know Zach's the absolute expert on it, and that's what you want to use when you're doing this. You cannot use the stamped approach, send it out to 10,000 people and expect the exact same type of results when you do that. So, so my order of preference, honestly, cold calling, SMS, and mail. But I will tell you, do not overlook mail. And guys, I'm not telling you to go out and go get this complicated mail service. Just come up with a form letter, sign your name on it, do a mail merge. You don't know how to do mail merge, just go on Microsoft, use Word. They'll teach you for free. That's what I do. That's what you should do, and mail it. The only difference is on the envelope, I would just take a blue pen and hand address the envelope. If you're confused who to send it to, I will give you a little secret of what I do is send to the estate of John Doe, and I guarantee you that person will open it up if you don't want to like go through pulling out the PR and stuff like that. So you could use the pre-probate and you could address a letter and a handwritten envelope. And on the title of it, you can put to the estate of John Doe. So if John Doe's the person that came up on your record, that's who I would use. So let's recap real quick. You know how to pull pre-probate leads. Guys, this is amazing. I was skeptical when it first came out, but we've used it in our business. We're getting deals off of it. And for those of you that love to do virtual wholesaling, which I think is an amazing opportunity right now in the market, boy, these are ones I am focusing heavily on, and they're the ones I'm going to make sure are a priority in my wholesaling business. So you have the leads. You can SMS, cold call, or direct mail. I've shown you all 3 ways. Just remember on the SMS, make sure you're getting past the carriers. How do I do that? Hey, are you the owner of 123 Main Street? ? If they respond, then you engage a simple sentence. Cash buyer looking to buy houses in the area. That should get you to the golden ticket. So that's my spiel on probates. I love probates. I just want you guys to understand with pre-probates, probates, how it works, what's the difference. and why you want to take advantage of pre-probates. It encompasses everything. It's really cool. I think it's amazing. And the more you understand it and the more you know how to use that tool. If you want to know how to use the tool in listrei.com, go in there. It's under quick list. Hit the arrow button and it's all the way at the bottom, I believe, under pre-probates. Click that and just start scanning. And if you're looking for like a new virtual market, you can scan and see how many pre-probates you can target right there. And from there, let's see here. I'm going to get going on the questions here. I promise you. So you guys know how to use the listrei.com. And for those of the people, I see questions on here right now. If you want to use the text feature, smszach.com, that'll get you everything. And that will also set you up for any type of skip tracing. So it's all easy, all in one place. So guys, let's get to it. I've seen people posting on Facebook today and stuff, and I put an invitation out there for everybody to join me. Guys, you are getting an absolute free mastermind from, I think, two are the most genuine, authentic, smart people. With me and Zach, we have 23 years combined experience. I'm 19, he's 4. Guys, it doesn't matter how old you are, it doesn't matter how much money you are. I am living proof of how this works. And I always thought I was going to run out of deals. And here I am 19 years later. And me and Zach, we spent at least 3 hours today talking about deals, plans we have, new markets we're going to penetrate. And it's a lot of fun. And a lot of it's around pre-probate. So guys, you know how this deal works. Let me take this off. Let's get to the questions. I'll answer them in order. And guys, ask good questions. You know, you have me, use me. I am a source for you. I don't think anybody's paying for this. All I ask for you guys, if you can do me a favor, I will answer each and everybody's question. Make sure you subscribe, smash that like button, and most importantly, put comments below. So let's jump to it. I'll take them by order. And if you want to talk about probates or anything about wholesaling, these are the questions I definitely want to answer. So awesome. Let's see. Oh, perfect question. So Jane asked, do you add filters with your pre-probate list? First, start out with no filters. See how many you have. I would keep a record of how many you're getting per week so you can track how many are coming in. So no filters when you start out. Now, if you're doing like 5, 10, 20 counties, and you really want to narrow it down and get down the niche, like I only want people that don't have a mortgage on the house and is a 3-2 with at least 1,500 square feet. If that's your avatar for buying a house, then go for it. But just keep in mind, the more filters you put on, the more you're going to narrow your list. So the last thing I want to do is limit your opportunities. But maybe you're on a limited budget and you can only mail or you can only call so many. Honestly, if you're doing SMS or you're doing cold calling, you need as many as you can. So my advice and recommendation in the beginning is remove filters. The only filter maybe you want to put on there is make sure it's not on MLS. And any type of, if you want to remove like HOAs, if you don't deal with HOAs at all and you don't want to deal with it, those would be the only two I would recommend. But honestly, start out with like no filters, and then I think that'll help your numbers, and then you can work down. Awesome question. See, that's, I love this stuff. Okay. Tony, awesome, 100%. Can't wait, super excited, loved it. Okay, I'm gonna go through. So I love people ask questions like right off the bat, even while I'm going through a training section. So Troy asked, real quick question before it starts, can you wholesale with hard money, and what's the best way? You technically can. The problem with wholesaling is, can you wholesale with hard money? Yes. There's a reason they call it hard money. It's expensive. So expect when you're all said and done, whenever you get like a hard money deal, the most important thing on hard money is don't focus on the interest rate, focus on the terms and the expenses on your HUD statement. So I've seen people get loans at like 8-9%, but they got 4 points If you don't know what a point is, if you borrowed 100 grand and there's 4 points, that means you're getting a $4,000 expense. Crazy appraisal rates. My favorite way to work with hard money is establish a relationship before you need the deal, and you'd be amazed how smooth they go. So the question is the ease of funding. The best deals you will ever get require usually pretty quick funding, and that's where I recommend you use hard money. I prefer to see you do an assignment of contract. It's the cleanest way to grab the money, but there's some cases that don't work that way. So Troy, yes, I have wholesaled with hard money. I prefer you do it with soft money. If you don't know what soft money, it's just money you go out and raise on your own, family, friends, business partners, stuff like that. Anything's possible in this business as long as the spread's there. Good question. Okay, Justin asked a good question. How do you skip trace a probate? Really simple. So if you want, you can go to smszach.com, do it there. But if you want to do it, and it's really just one, I would use simple online services. Google is your friend. Spokio, let's see, White Pages, People Finder, it's endless. A lot of times it's not that hard to find 1 or 2 people. The thing is when you have 30 or 40, I prefer to use a batching service, smszach.com. That'll go to batch leads, that'll pull all your stuff, and it's a matter of convenience. If I'm pulling 1 or 2, I'm just gonna manually pull it. For a long time, I had my VAs go and scrape the data, but then I had to pay the VA, I had to wait to get the data. But yeah, the good old internet is probably your best one. So good question. Okay, Troy asks, basically how often you refresh your probate, your pre-probate list? You know, it's weird how the data comes in. So sometimes like you'll see nothing, and it loads up. So I would recommend you have to pull at least twice a month, but I would go with at least weekly. And what you'll do is you'll get in a flow with it and you'll see, okay, I'm getting about 50 per week. So the data can go back. The only thing you got to watch for is how long they hold the data for. So I've seen as long as like 60 days and even 90 days. So until you run and keep track of it in your particular marketing area, if you do it by county, city, zip code, or whatever, you won't know that data. So you got to start track it. So my recommendation, at least pull it once a week. All right. Let's see here. Kevin says, thanks for all the knowledge, guys. Keep it up. Kevin, thanks for tuning in. Make sure you you share this information as much as you can. Okay, let's see here. Okay, I'm getting a lot of questions. Good stuff. Okay, let's get back here. Hey, skip trace, awesome. Forrest says, first like, love the content, guys. So if you guys haven't figured out, we are a father-son team. Zach just kind of picked up naturally on this business while he was in high school. And I thought, what better experiment than to teach my own son to do this business? And if you guys have ever tried to drag a family member into like a business, I always felt I had to protect him from this business because let's face it, sometimes it can be challenging. But he just embraced it and loved it. And at some point, I'm going to do an entire video on how it like literally started. Like the day he came to me and said, hey, listen, I want to know more about real estate investing. And keep in mind, he's much, much, much more book smarter than I am. I just have the experience. So I figured if I could put the wisdom together and his tenacity and drive, it would be the perfect product. And it was. So I would love to do a video and teach you guys if you want to involve family members, even like friends to a point, but there's a certain way. Guys, face it, what we do is unique. You want something so much better in life, and I tell you, wholesaling is the way to do it. I have created more wealth, more opportunity, more relationships, more time with my family than any other business I know, and I know you're in the right place. So I appreciate it, Forrest. Thank you so much. Sensei says flip with Rick. That's it. You got it. So those of you guys asking, who is this old guy standing on here? My name's Rick. I'm actually the Flip with Rick. So I started back in 2003. Zach is my son. You guys have all connected with him and you love doing it. And we work together as a team, although you see Zach more because let's face it, he's younger. He's probably stronger, although not much stronger. And he's really quick at connecting with people. And so we have fun with it. So we kind of share the channel. And the really cool thing is you get 2 for 1. You get a young guy that you know that's doing it, who's absolutely crushing it in the market. And you kind of get an old guy like me who's been around, been through multiple market cycles, and I can guide you through it. So the energy of both of us together and knowing we're family and we're authentic, and I want to give you the truth. I think, listen, not every guru out there is like terrible, but I just don't understand why someone would pay for like basic wholesaling through a guru. I'm giving you the content for free. You don't need to do it. My goal here is to develop a community of like-minded wholesalers that want to make 6 figures quickly and rapidly without being taken to the bank. Because I've been taken to the bank like multiple times. I'm going to be honest with you. Most people out there teaching have no business teaching this stuff because they're too busy coaching and they're not running a real estate wholesaling business. I have always ran a wholesaling business. I love it too much. It's actually an addiction to me. If you guys get in this business, you'll find out chasing the deal. I love the deal. Actually, once I get a deal inked, I kind of get bored with it. And thank God I got someone like Zach, and I have a small staff of employees that helps me get through it because sometimes I'm my own nightmare on that. So awesome. Okay, we're saying if I were able to contact the lawyer, just send me probates, how would that handle that? Don't do that. Absolutely. The last thing you want to do, probate, lawyers file probate motions, and they open up cases. Their job's not to pull them from you. So do me a favor, do not, whatever you do, go to a lawyer to pull probates. It's the fastest way to get a door slammed in your hand, and you're not going to get a good response. So what you want to do is go to listrei.com. You can pull them there. You get a 7-day free trial period. It's really, really simple, and that's where you get it. Because if you do a lawyer, any good lawyer is going to charge you $400 or $500 per hour, and they don't want to pull the data either. It's messy. It's a lot of work. My suggestion is old school. Go down to the courthouse, pull it yourself, or get an online account and pull that data. And just, it's really not that hard. You guys overcomplicate this. Really, really simple. I did it this way for years. I'm telling you, this pre-probate thing is absolutely golden. I'm amazed. I don't even know how they do it. How do you pull a death record and match it to a property record? Do you know how much work that takes? It's unbelievable. And you and me don't have access to death records. I'm not a government official, and other than a family member, you do not have access to those records. So do not use the lawyer. Hope that helps. Okay, Tony's putting out some money signals there, so I like it. Okay, I got a question here. LA Real Estate, we spoke before about probate. You said you don't sell the course anymore. So for full disclosure, for many years, I sold what I call micro courses, and they were marketing courses. And honestly, I sold them really, really cheap. Actually, they sold so well that gurus would buy them and basically repackage them as their own. So you know the stuff's good when I do it. And I think I was charging at one point. It was $47. I was $97. Then I think I did a re-release $197. Just so you know, I just stopped doing it because it's a really, really good course. And the good thing about probates is you can find one of my old courses. I sold a lot of the rights to it, and other people sell it with my content. Now, I can't control it. I made some decisions in the past. I can't change it. So the courses are out there. You can Google them. I don't get paid like when you do it. So I basically sold the licensing rights away from it. It's my content. I can't take it down. It is what it is. So if you go out there and buy it, it still works. It's fine. Most of it's supported. Some people don't support it. So just make sure whoever you buy it through. But he's asking, I need some letters to send out. Can you send me an example so I can send some out? So if you go through Flip with Rick, I believe we provide endless samples. I got to be honest with you. There's so many samples out on the internet. Like, don't overthink this. Okay. So it's really just about sending a message out. So go through Flip with Rick. I believe there's several examples in there. If not, you can find one of my old courses. I think they're $97 or $197. It's like well worth it. I've been through this. I made a commitment not to go back and sell anything, so Zach's going to kill me. So I'm not here to sell it. I don't benefit from it. Zach doesn't benefit from it. So if you buy it or not, I don't care. But actually, everything's all in there. So if you find it, knock yourself out. It was called, I believe it was Priority Probate System. God, it was a long. That was back in 2013, so 8 years ago. But the information still holds true. I did an update at one point, but I've gotten out of doing that. So I'd rather connect with you guys one-on-one. So everything's in there if you want to grab that. If not, just Google it and find out. Here's the key. Just get the dang letter out. Do not do a postcards. They do not work in probates. All right. Zach is juiced. I remember Zach used to have juice. Okay. Philip says, thanks again for all the free information. What you're doing is huge. If you guys don't understand what Philip's doing, I don't charge you. You're getting a mastermind. This is live right here. Or maybe you're watching it recorded. It doesn't matter. If you're getting value from this, I'm not the guy telling you, if you won't give me a $10,000 check, I'm not going to let you through the magic world of wholesaling. Guys, we're in 2021. We're in an age where my job and Zach's job is to provide you so much value. You just love hanging out with us. And that we can grow the community. If you use the products we recommend and the stuff we use in our business and we test every day, I save you from pain. I get you the best prices possible. And that's how we can grow the community, by you subscribing and sharing this link with others. So I appreciate it, Philip. Thank you so much. So Sensage says it's a new feature. Yes, pre-probate is a new feature in Propstream. To get it, you go to listrei.com. I'm telling you guys, we tested it out. We were able to partake in it before they rolled it out, and I was really excited when we did it because we got deals out of it, and that's the name of the game. So the really cool thing is, any of you have ever worked with me in the past, or obviously you know my son Zach, is we try everything out in our business. So I'm not shooting from the hip. We are not gurus who are focusing every day on how we can suck money out of your wallet to make this work. I believe if me and Zach give away enough value, which value, like you hear the word value, it's beyond abuse. If I give you value, if you give me $1 for it, or you give me $0, or you give me $50,000, you should be able to interpret the value. So many of you out there have decided that if I pay $5,000 or $8,000 or $10,000, that's going to be my golden ticket to wholesaling, or even creative financing. And you know what the truth is? It's not. It's actually going to frustrate you and probably tick you off. Will it make you accountable? It will, only if you do the work. So why don't you come on here? Let me and Zach hold you accountable. Ask as many questions as you can. I'm telling you guys, 19 years I've been doing this. I love this business. I got Zach started at 17. He loves it. He has all the freedom he wants in life. I've taught him he can live anywhere in the world and run his business. And that's what he does. And what better than like a father-son team? You can't get any more authentic than this, guys. And by the way, if you ever meet me off camera or Zach, you're going to see the exact same person. There is no change here. I find so many people are just like, they're so, great, wholesaling, and they get off there and like, oh my God, how many courses did we sell? I sold 0. Zach sold 0. I don't have a hidden agenda. I'm so tired of going on everybody's websites and groups and getting pounded over the head by these courses that overpromise, have thousands of students. God knows they're making millions of dollars. And guess what? They haven't wholesaled the deal in years. But they're hanging their hat on that 1 year. They just barely tipped $1 million or $2 million, which, to be honest, guys, is not hard to do in this business. It's actually very, very achievable, even for a single wholesaler. So it's a new feature. Okay, says she's trying it in California. Awesome. Philip, you can ask any question you want. He's asking about getting water shut off from a private utility company. You can ask the question. I'm going to go ahead and answer for you. just ask for it. A lot of them are going to tell you no. In my counties, it's a hard no. So you're not always going to get it. There's some places where they just give you this stuff out for free. So a long time ago, we were able to get it. I can't get it anymore. So what you don't ask for in life, you will never, ever get. So guys, just ask. The worst you're going to do is say no to you. I hope that answers it for you. And Morris says, good afternoon. Rick and Zach, you guys rock. I appreciate Morris, and I appreciate you being on here. So awesome. And everybody who's taking your time out now, guys, put your questions in now. I run this thing for an hour. If you bury me with so many questions, I'll run it longer. So the only bad question you ask is the one you don't ask. So, okay, we talked about this. How often are you pulling these lists? I would pull them at least weekly. Okay. Tony asked, what did the initial SMS say? So your merge is going to be, so if you're sending it to me, it would say, Rick, are you the owner of, and if you have the ability to merge the property address in there, that's where you want to do it. The best way to do it, if you use SMS like that. SMS Zach, ZACH.com. Let me put that up there. They have the ability to do both the things I'm talking about because that's what we do with it. Let me find it. I'm sorry about that. And you get your first 500. I think it's $1. Yeah, it's $1. It says on there. So feel free to use that. Why are we doing that? Because the carriers, they're detecting, I guess they got like these AI robots. If they see the exact same message X amount of times, they're going to screen you off. So when you ask like a question like that, it's a little bit odd and it's not common. And what I would do is kind of keep rephrasing it and moving it around. Unfortunately, that's what you have to do with SMS, guys. We had a golden ticket. I told you guys almost a year ago that this disruptive marketing is going to get harder and harder. You know why? Because people complain about it. So you and me both, got my glasses on today. People just get tired of seeing it and they're trying to get disruptive. So they bother their local political representatives, and it works its way up the chain. And eventually it makes it to your state legislator, and the states decide, what can be done and what can't be done. That's how we went up with the do not call list and all sorts of stuff. So I can't do RVMs in my state. It was actually one of our best producing lead sources. I can't do it anymore. Absolutely amazing. You push a button. But the problem when thousands, if not tens of thousands of investors all do it at the same time, it just becomes too much and people get inundated with it. So hopefully that helps you out with that. All right, guys. All right. How's everybody's day going today? Tell me, it's Friday, man. But like when you're a wholesaler, it doesn't matter if it's Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Like honestly, there's no difference on a Friday and a Monday for me. It's just because I'm able to do what I want, when I want, and produce income steadily, consistently, and spend time with my family and doing the things I love. And that's what I want for everybody on this stream right now. So let's get back to the questions. I get distracted here. All right. Jocelyn, you guys are so kind for sharing all this. I truly appreciate the information. Guys, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Make sure you hit the like button and please share this video if you think somebody that would benefit from it. So I'm going to open it up. It doesn't have to be just probate questions, whatever questions you got. I would like them relative to wholesaling. And guys, this is a free mastermind. Take advantage. If you don't take advantage of this, how are you going to be successful at wholesaling? So take me up on it. I challenge you guys, as many questions that you put in here, I'll answer. Yes, that's how you do it, Tony. Well, not Tony, but Kino. That works good. All right. Okay, we're working through this. Okay, I'm running behind here. We already asked, do you add filters? No. I give Tony a quick plug here because he knows how to ask questions, and I appreciate it. Anybody have any buyers in Jacksonville? Guys, hit up Tony if you got them on Instagram. It's right there on the screen for you. Get it, Tony? Okay. Oh, here's a good question. Do you contact the local clerk of courts to identify executors or beneficiaries? So the word contact is not a word you're going to use. So here's what you actually have to go down to the courthouse, or you need to set up an online account if your county courthouse allows you to pull probates. Just contacting and doing a phone call, if it was that easy, I probably wouldn't even be doing this video. So for the longest time, I did exactly what I told you. I went down to the courthouse. I asked as many questions as I could, and I got a face-to-face contact. So contacting means you have to go down and physically do it in person. If you're uncomfortable, you don't know how to do it. That's how I started out doing it. That's how I created my course on the priority probate system. And that's how I got so good. I just got so curious and so frustrated that nobody could show me how to do probates. I just decided, let's just dive into it. In anything in life you decide to commit 100% plus, like 120%, because 100% is just a minimum that you need to make it work. I went all in 120%, and I just did it. And within 3 months, I was doing so many probates. Everybody was asking me, how do you do it? How do you do it? And I didn't feel like I was even able to teach it, but I did it. If you guys will treat wholesaling just like I told you on probates, you will be a massive success. Any of you use the word, I'm trying or I'm thinking about doing, listen, you got to go all in. Okay. It doesn't mean quit your job or do anything like that. We all have the same 24 hours, but you have to be committed to make this work. Is it the norm of what society does? No, that's why it's so cool. Okay. If you want a norm, you can just go do a 9-to-5 job. Guys, I did it for 12 years. It was terrible. I didn't even start wholesaling till 33. Yeah, 40. I started at 33. I was always curious. I just didn't know how to do it. You have no excuse. You have me, you have Zach. I'm not charging you anything. So what is your excuse? What are you relying on? Guys, everything is here. Okay? It's going to get uncomfortable. You're in the right place. The minute you're uncomfortable, and I'm not talking about like you're in pain, but it feels awkward. The first 3 months I did this business, I felt like I was running around with like no clothes on. And nobody taught me back then that that's how you're supposed to feel. I'm telling you right now, if it feels awkward and strange, if you got people hanging up and saying no to you, you're doing the right thing. So, okay. So, yeah, may you go through Propstream list to pull example. I would do it, but I'm a little bit technology challenged. So let me simplify this because I don't want to tie up like 5-10 minutes trying to do the screen share. You guys know Zach's the tech wizard. I'm the old man here. So remember, the pre-probate is pulling properties that have a death record, a recent death record, usually within the last 30 days, and it shows a property record. That's it. That's all that's going to give you. It's just a prospect for you to potentially put a wholesale deal together. So don't overcomplicate it. So in the old days, if you did it like I did, you had to go down to the courthouse. You had to go and manually pull every probate. Then you had to interpret the probate. You had to find the PR, which is also called the personal representative or the executor, depending on what state you're in. And then you would find even the heirs. And I would mail to the PR, and then I would mail to all the heirs. Like, honestly, like I simplify it. So I don't do the marketing for the probates, but last I checked, with the pre-probates, this is my strategy if I'm a single operator. I'm going to pull that list. I'm going to filter the stuff off of MLS. So after I pull my list, if you don't know how to go list, it's listrei.com. It's really, really simple. And from there, I'm going to either skip trace it, smszach.com, and then from there, you can cold call, you can SMS, It's just that simple. If you're going to mail, the worst thing you can do. So Rick, how am I going to text someone that's dead and I don't know the PR? Great question. Just leave the name off. Are you interested in selling the property at 123 USA Main Street? That's it. And honestly, you don't have to have a ton of VAs. You don't have a bunch of employees. You could do this yourself. If you're going to do simple follow-up mail letters with it, I recommend just doing a letter. You have a form letter. You talk about the property. Hey, just want to know if this property is for sale. I'm interested in buying it. And by the way, I have a strategy that can cut you through the red tape of the probate process. Give me a call. I would love to talk it over with you. Do you see the difference on putting something like that in there? It gives them a reason to call you. There's something like, well, how can this guy cut through the probate process? I've already told you one of the big secrets I want you to take away is a lot of probates don't actually go through probate. And that was my key difference in all my marketing material. Now, I don't really do that in SMS. I leave that part up to Zach and the team. But in the letter, I absolutely harvest on that. And they're like, well, what do you mean you can cut through the red tape? And then I would just go through and qualify them. So once you do that, you mail out and you prospect, you turn your leads in, you do appointments, and it's simple as that to make it work. Hold on, I got to sneeze. Okay, sorry about that. So Rich asks, got here late. What is the pre-probate list? I just went over pre-probates. You go into listrei.com, and it is simply a cross-reference of death certificates that own property, and that's it. It's just a prospect you're going to turn into a lead, to appointment, into a deal, and cash in your bank account. There is no faster way to do it, guys. I'm just telling you, if this was out in 2013, I would have crushed it. So the problem with probates in general is it is hard to scale because every county does a little bit different. Through listrei.com, it's giving you this ability to scale, especially for you guys and gals doing virtual markets, which I do. And there is no way I can handle probates without doing listrei.com. It's actually changed how we do a lot of our virtual marketing. It works very well. Yes, are other people pulling it? Yeah, that is. But you know what? I'm highly confident in getting deals with people. We know how to talk to people. You know how you talk to people? You just be authentic and be yourself, just like I'm being with you right here. That's the big sales secret. You like that? Because the more you are like yourself, the more you're like the creature God created you to be, the more natural it is, the better you feel, and sellers feel it. And that's why they connect with me. It's why they connect with Zach. That's why they connect with my entire staff. Even though I'm probably offering a lower price and I don't have this ridiculous like marketing like game type of deal. We're just true and authentic, and we're relentless in our follow-up. That's the key here. So, okay, let's keep the questions going. I got like another 10, 15 minutes here. Okay, wow, okay. Let me get caught up here. Let's. Okay, Zach did it. So not remember. Like, hold on. I don't want to miss anybody out here, so I'm not. Okay, got a lot of questions. Okay, guys, hit that like button. I'm going to go speed round a little bit here. So I want to answer as many questions, help out as many people as humanly possible. Every day, same Rick, amazing opportunity. Thank you so much, Tim. I appreciate it. Okay, I got behind here. Awesome. I appreciate it, Tim. Thank you so much. Kevin's got a question here. If you don't mind me asking, what's your biggest deal and what did you do with it? So to be honest with you, some of the biggest deals I've done, I still own the property and I own them pretty much clear and free. So that to me is my favorite type of deal because it pays me the rest of my life and it's income I can always count on. Yes, I still have to work for it, but As you know, as values have gone up, I've been in the game in a long time, so I've done very well with it. As far as a wholesale and a flip, I've done six-figure deals, like deep six figures. So I never thought I could do something like that, but I'm just telling you, and I've done them recently. So you just hitting, I like to hit doubles, triples, and home runs. In the beginning, I had to do a lot of singles. What do you mean by singles? I did deals $2,000 and $3,000, whatever I had to do, put food on my plate. But now I don't spend a lot of energy on that, because here's my experience. Although I would never tell you to turn down money as long as your risk is low, but I don't want you risking $100,000 to make $3,000. That's suicide. So, guys, here's the key, Kevin. It's not how many deals you do. So many gurus like, oh, I'm doing 15 and 20 deals. Yeah, but how much you making? He's not telling you he's got 3 or 4 partners. I've got 5 employees. I have a big office. I have a lot of overhead, and they never share with you what they spend on marketing. Guys, I run on a very, very, very lean marketing schedule. I don't believe in spending $30,000, $40,000. I will be honest with you, scaling wholesaling on a massive scale, if it was so scalable, all your big multi-billion-dollar corporations would have taken us over. So it's never going to happen that way. So when people go, I got 15, 20 deals going, yeah, they're making $1,000 to $5,000 a deal. I can do one deal and trump all those deals. Last month, we did 3 deals that probably beat most people's years. Why? Because I've been doing it a long time. I'm good at what I do. But I started out truly wholesaling. Do I do more than wholesaling? Absolutely. I do creative finance. I do everything. I've done short sales even as of recent. So and I don't say that to brag. I say it to inspire you, because my first deal I did, which Kevin, that would be the one I asked, I made $10,000 without pulling one nickel out of my pocket, working with a realtor on an assignment contract. And that's what I want you guys to do here. Okay, speed round. LA says, I'm having a hard time keeping up with the list. What do you use to keep track of them? Pull a monthly, weekly basis, a spreadsheet. What does it look like? So here's my suggestion. Identify what you're being tripped up on the list. So you're probably dealing with duplication issues. If you're not a master of Excel, here's what I do. Here's the big secret, guys. You don't have to hire a VA. You can go to Fiverr, spell out your exact problem, and show an example of your worksheet, and see what they'll do to help you create some sort of pivot table within your worksheet to stop your madness. And guess what that's going to cost? I guarantee you it'll cost you less than $20. But you've probably spent 5, 6, 10, 20 hours trying to figure it out. Just spend the $20, have someone solve it for you. Then they'll give you that worksheet with the pivot tables and the macros built into it. You don't believe me? Go to Fiverr, check it out. I'm telling you, you can even price it out. Tell them what your problem is before you pay for the job. So that's what I would do. Actually, that's what I do right now. So use it. Okay. Haseen asks, earnest money deposit is with the seller. What do you need to put down with the buyer? So I don't know if you have a buyer, the buyer has to usually put some sort of deposit down. However you want to do it. Why? Because it shows that they want to move forward the contract and do everything. If you're the seller, you would collect the deposit on that side. I'm not sure of the question. Maybe just kind of rephrase it. Okay. What's up, Kenny? How you doing? I understand sending letters of the estate when SMS and cold calling a pre-probate or pre-probate record. What's the best way to initiate the call right off the beginning? So Zach has extensive videos right here in the Flip with Rick on the YouTube channel. Just go in there and search for cold calling scripts. And guys, don't overcomplicate it. Just really simple. Zach is much better at phrasing it than a typical cold caller would. You know why? Because Zach made hundreds, if not, he made hundreds of thousands of cold calls. And what he identified is the first question you ask is going to make or break you. Like they're either going to hang up on you or they're going to like expand it forward. So make sure you do not ask a yes, no question, but go ahead and Google in the scripts in there, because I'm going to tie up too much time getting into a script, and we've done entire videos on that. So just search it. I promise you it's there. So great question, though. Okay, I love stuff like this. So it's Junior Bro. So I've seen you on here before. So this last week has been tough. Most of my contacts have been hard-nosed or cussed out. Welcome to the club. Almost want to give up, but watching your videos keeps me going. Thank you for all you do. So you're not alone. I still sometimes, like, here's a full confession, to this day, because I'm active in wholesaling. I'm not running a coaching business. You guys are my coaching. You're my free coaching business. My goal is to connect and help as many people as possible. Let's see where this goes. If we all can share information just like you're talking about here, I've been through this fight. I have kicked the tires. And so being cussed at and sworn out, here's my suggestion. You just need to work on your confidence level with it. So you have to be willing to do whatever it is to get your first deal, if not your first 5 deals. And you're going to let someone cuss you out or throw you off your game, you got to focus. Expect it. So once you expect it, occasionally someone will surprise you. Go, listen, here's the problem. Don't become so numb that so many people cuss you out and chew you out. And they're like, man, this is ridiculous. I'm beating my head against the curb. And then one guy goes, listen, I don't want to sell your house. You go, oh, you're up to something because everybody's giving me such a hard time. You're going to discount them. So you have to be open to the possibilities. It happens almost on a daily occurrence in my business. I'm going to be honest with you. I have fought your fought. And everyone's like, oh, Rick, you do so well. And you taught your son like he fought the fight. He got his ass kicked. And he said, at 17, it was so easy to quit at 17. Why not? There's so much better. You go to college, you get this great corporate job. Screw that, man. So you have to be committed to do this 120%. And my suggestion is make sure your why and why you're doing this and focus on the outcome. So like I work out pretty much every day. So does Zach, because that's what we do in our family. Like we don't wait for stuff to happen. We go get it. I like to work out early. Zach's not a big morning, and it doesn't matter. You don't have to work out at 4 a.m., but I like to work up early to get my schedule done. Here's Loki. I hate getting out of it. I hate waking up. It's painful. It sucks, but I do it. You know why I do it? You know how I get past it? When I want to hit that snooze, I just focus on the outcome. I'll feel better. I'll feel enthusiastic. I can help more people out. I have more energy. I can spend more time with my family. I can spend time in the business with Zach. I can go fishing with Zach. I can go to dinner with my wife. That's why I do it. If I wait too late in the day, it gets backed up. I go to the gym. A lot of 20-year-olds there. I need more time to work out. So stay in it, bro. You got to fight the fight. I'm there with you. Zach's there with you. You can do this. So do we always scrub the list before blasting? It just depends on what your protocol is on it. So depends on what service you use. If you want to connect to us on Facebook, I'll help answer that with that because I need more information before answering that. But in the beginning, I never scrubbed anything. If you do it on a mass scale, you really have to scrub it. Okay. Tim says he's answering Hussein's question so that you can make a committal deposit EMD from the buyer. Always get in writing. This demonstrates their seriousness as if you haven't used them before. You have no need. So hopefully that answers your question there. I'm in the speed round, so I'm trying to get through it. Ali says, should we put a picture on the letter? I've seen people do that. I don't know, man. Like a letter's a letter. Don't overcomplicate it. Then you get with, like, I tell you right this. Make sure you use your letters are personal. So whenever I buy a house in probate, guess who they're buying? They're buying from Rick Ginn or they're buying from Zach Ginn. They're not buying from my corporations because it seems big and clunky and like you guys don't care. It's always personal. If you think it'll work, yeah, but then you got to do like color. I don't want you to slow up the process. If it works, test it out. I don't think it can hurt. I don't. I have no idea. Possibly. Then you got to deal with the whole printer thing. So. Trina says, my VA and I have been cold calling for 4 months and have not gotten a deal yet. What do you recommend? Change your approach. Something's not working. 4 months is more than enough time to get a deal, especially in cold calling. I don't know what market you're in. Before I go into it, I see the keyword that says my VA and I. So I commend you for at least doing the cold calling. I get so many responses. I hired a VA to do cold calling and getting no results. Well, do you know how to cold call? Do you know how it works? Do you know how many dials it takes? Do you know what scripts they're using? Have you spent time training them? So number one, I would look at your list, hands down your list. You got to focus on your list. Always the list first. Number two, go back and look at your training. Did you do any type of training? Do you have cold call skills? Did you teach your VA the skills? Because here's the truth, Trina, if you're not getting deals cold calling and you're training a VA those same skills, it seems logical to me that you're not going to get any deals because you're missing something in your formula. So either your data's bad or you don't have the right sales script. And it's 4 months is a lot. So if you're making thousands and thousands of calls, you got to kind of reapproach. Has cold calling got harder? Yeah, because everyone's doing it. So I would change your approach. So here's the good news. You're cold calling, you got the numbers. Why not use an SMS approach and see if you can break the barrier with that? I would find a way to change your cold calling after 4 months. At some point, you got to look at your KPI and go, this isn't working. We have to watch how we do marketing. And after a quarter, if something's not working, you really got to focus on it. And every quarter I sit down, if this is not working, we shift, either cut it off, try a new source, or make a massive change. So I need more data to kind of figure out what to do, but like what you're doing, you got to do a radical change. So either you got to get rid of the VA, because obviously that's not working out. I'm sure you're paying them. I think that money's better used towards either, in my opinion, SMS, or getting you a little bit better trained on cold calling. I would go right here through Flip with Rick. Zach's he's hands down the best cold caller I've ever had in my company, and he's always trained everyone we had. And it takes a lot of follow-up, and there's a lot of training. There's so much involved in cold calling. Everyone's like, oh, it's the cheapest. It's a lot of work, and if you don't have the right path to get it done, then you're not going to get the results. So if you're not getting results and you're training your VA, it seems that you would duplicate the same thing, and I think that's where the problem is. So I would stop it and freeze everything and just do a massive change. Either it's going to SMS or use somebody else for cold calling, or maybe just you dial in and cold calling. A lot of time, guys, you want to hear the ugly truth is it takes you and your commitment level to do it. Your VA is just, a lot of times you're just getting paid. I'd be embarrassed as I was a VA cold calling for you and I couldn't get you a deal in 4 months. You got, dude, hasta la vista, that VA, it's not working out. At some point, you got to say, it's just not working out. So, Trina, let me know how it works out. Hopefully that works for you. Okay, last questions getting in here. Tim says, awesome content. Appreciate it. Okay, I skipped. Okay. Tom asks, thoughts on upcoming regulations on wholesalers in several states. More to come. Think you really have to get licensed immediately to sell or a cash buyer. Listen, guys, I can't stop regulations. Do not worry about it. If you have to come license your state, just go get the frickin' license. It is what it is. I'm not going to spend time worrying about it, nor should you, Tom. You don't have control of it, so you can voice your concern with your local and state representatives and leave it there. We are entrepreneurs, we're wholesalers, and that's what I want you to focus on. So, sucks, but it is what it is. Eduardo asks, are Zillow's Fizbos still any good? Seemingly most of these sellers have updated utilities that call for little to no repairs, thus I have no leverage for my knowledge and I get at discounted prices. So Zillow's are still, listen, people selling a house are selling a house. I like to target houses that have issues. Some sort of list, typically a off-market list. An off-market list, for you guys that don't know, is a list that's not publicly known code violations, like a tax delinquency, a utility shut off. They're just the ones that you actually have to work for and you actually can't buy. Those are my favorite types of lists. Yeah, I know people that all they do is make their whole pipeline is Zillow and Fizbos. Thus, I have no leverage to my knowledge in getting a discounted price. So I wouldn't stop doing Zillow leads, but like I mainly would target Zillow leads for like creative financing. And this video isn't on that. And how does creative financing tie to wholesaling? I'm always looking for a wholesaling deal first, and then I find creative financing coming out. Understand, if you go to Zillow, people want a certain price. The best way to do is give them their price. The only way you're going to be able to do that is creative financing. That's another video. I'm not going to do it right here. You might want to switch from Zillow because it's not the easiest one. Yes, people are going to sell, but properties are selling fast right now. So that, in my opinion, is not the best list. But I do know people that's all they do to make a living. Yes, they have more experience with it. So Eduardo, if you're going to continue doing Zillow, you have to make up for the stuff that you don't have. You don't have experience. You don't have to leverage it. So leverage what you do have. What do you have? If you're going to cold call Fizbos on Zillow, the number one thing you have to have is complete enthusiasm on the phone. They can't see you. They can only hear your voice and the inflection in your tone. Be excited. Have fun. Cheer their day up even when they hang you out and cuss you out. Shoot. I spent a lot of time in the doing Fizbos a long time. I know that well. Enthusiasm wins every time, guys. I don't care how much knowledge you have. I don't care if you're just starting out in this video. I love to work with enthusiastic people because they're fun. It's contagious. And who doesn't want to be with someone enthusiastic? So why do you think sellers are going to think any differently? Zillow's a little bit harder, I agree. So turn your enthusiasm on. If you have charm, turn that on. If you're a slick guy or a gal, just be as sweet and charming as you can, no matter what they say to you. It will help you out. Brent asks, I'm out of Detroit, Michigan. Is that a good market? Yes. Guys, any market you're in, and especially that's local, that's the market I always recommend you start out. Detroit has, I mean, there's a lot going on there. So it's perfect. You have a population, it's got like a history, and you got a lot of medium price properties and low price properties. You pick what price point you want to go out. Just try to stay out of the hood-ridden areas. And that's my personal experience, but it's up to you. So what's the best way to get transactional funding for a double closing? Set the relationship up before you need the deal, because trying to get transactional funding while you're trying to get a deal, especially closed within a 5 to 7 day period, is extremely challenging. The beauty is, in my opinion, transactional funding does not require someone to be a close proximity from you. So number one, I'd reach out to a referral. If you don't know where to get a referral, try to find somebody. You can find it in Wholesaling Houses for Real. You can reach out to any of the number, the Facebook or social media posts. Try to find someone that's used a transactional funder, that they've had success and they were honest. Never, ever pay a fee up front for any type of funding you do. It's going to be a scam and they're going to take advantage of you. Past that, the internet's your friend. Don't click on the ads. Just try to find somebody that has some reviews. And one of the best ways is go to your local RIAs. Hopefully they're opening up soon here, and try to find one right in there. They're usually going to be associated with hard money lenders. So hopefully that helps you out. Rich asks the golden question. Rick, do you do any seller financing deals? Yeah, I love them. I recently bought a block of mobile homes, and they have one of the best ROIs in my portfolio. They're absolutely amazing. I love seller financing because it's easy, it's seamless, both parties wins, the bank gets cut out, and it's a fast transaction, and it usually has the highest profit level because you are the bank. So anytime you can do it, that makes sense, go for it. I didn't do it until later in my career because I didn't understand, I didn't have the ability, but now it's, guys, don't complicate it. You're just the bank. So just make sure you're following the laws in your state. and you understand what you're getting into it, you consult a local real estate attorney's Wholesale. Tell you to start out with it. So George says, thanks for the free info. So mail to the PR, the property address of the deceased. Yes. If you have the PR, great. Awesome. If not, use the trick of mail to the estate of John Doe, and usually the person in charge or the PR will get all that mail forwarded to them, or they'll go buy the property and pick it up, and that's the best person to connect with. Good one. Okay, I'm cutting off questions. So this is why my family, I love it when I provide for them and others. So Tony, that's what I did. So I'm living proof. So if you guys want to follow us on our journey, this is what we do. I want to help out as many people as I can. So if you guys could subscribe, share, and like the content, have fun with it, and like enjoy someone who's actually going to be authentic about wholesaling. People, I don't know. I promise Zach I wouldn't cuss or anything. I just think most gurus they're just full of it. Like, let's be honest. They don't do deals. They're in a coaching business. There's an entire community just to teach gurus how to coach and get more and more and more students. It's all about revenue. They're not all bad. Don't get me wrong. And I've worked with a lot of my friends, but I'm just telling you, most people coaching started out after 2013. It's been nothing but a rocket ship up. I have been through some serious market downtrends. I'm telling you, it's not always like this. Now, we are in uncharted waters, so let's see where it goes. What I'm saying is know your why. It's so important. The biggest, I tell everybody, know your why. If your why is strong enough, you can get through it. If your why is, I just want to make more money, don't do it. So your why is strong, your commitment is strong, you can get through anything. So thank you. Do you have a Fizbo script? Scroll through. I know there's someone here. It's pretty straightforward. I know Zach put one on there too. I assume you're referring to like Zillows and stuff like that. So Rock says, thank you. Tony says, thank you. Hold on. Okay, I'm going speed round now. I got to cut off. I promised I wouldn't go past. Can you name it? List you can't buy again. Code violations, tax delinquencies, utility shutoffs. Guys, I did a video. I got to figure out when I'm going to release it. It's a strategy. I'll let you know a little secret if you're paying attention here. Teach you how to do garage sale flipping. It's absolutely amazing. Actually, being able to comb your garage sales to find great wholesale deals. So, Junior Bro, hey, Rick, needed to hear that. Guys, stick in there, dude. Like, I've been in your shoes. So I started 33, Zach started 17. I don't care what age you start. It's where you finish. It has nothing to do with you start. Guys, I promise you when you do wholesaling, the struggle will be real. I guarantee you will have a struggle. The question is, will you get through the struggle? If your why is strong enough, you'll get through it. Okay, last few questions. Trina says, I'm getting very niched on my list from Propstream. I was doing San Diego with no results. I started in Knoxville. My VA was trained and probably vetted from a company. So that's kind of your problem. You're making huge assumptions. So if your VA was so good and vetted and trained through another company, why aren't you getting results with them? So more importantly, is that VA still working for that other company? If they're not, maybe that helps answer your question. You're missing something with the VA. Listen, I've been through a bunch of VAs. I've done a video on this before. VAs are only as good as you train them. So don't assume like somebody else trained them for you. It very rarely exists. There are some exceptions, but I'm just from my experience. Okay. Bryson, I'll tell Zach you got the code enforcement list. Awesome. What do you think about Memphis, Tennessee, Birmingham, and Alabama markets? You're going to have a little competition. Now, I love these markets. I've actually gotten deals out of these markets. I love everything in the South for obvious reasons. No income tax, good weather, yada, yada. You're in the right area. It doesn't mean you can't do it like anywhere else. So he says, I said, you guys get your licenses. It's going to be even illegal. So wholesaling will never be illegal because you basically have to shut down all of real estate. I've been told, by the way, I've been told that since 2003, 2021. It's still completely legal in Florida. So if you have to get a license, it's no big deal, guys. I'm just telling you, it's not a big deal. You got to pay a fee. I have to get a fishing license. Why? Like, I fished my entire life, but I got to pay a license. I don't bitch about that. Like, it is what it is. So don't spend time on that. So, okay, I got 2 more questions and I'm wrapping it up. Actually, 3 total. So let's see here. Ashley, hey Ashley, how you doing? I appreciate you being on the stream, and I'm going to reward you for asking a question here. My question was skipped. Sorry. Does it matter if you set up an LLC before or after you do your first deal? Honestly, don't worry about the LLC. So when you write your contracts, when you do your first deal, I assume you're assuming when you get a contract. As long as your contract's assignable, you can actually move it over to your LLC so you can get the full tax benefits so you don't get massively hit on the gain you do it. I'm not here to teach you how to do that. Most LLCs, they're pretty easy to set up in your state. So don't worry about it. And worst case scenario, in your first deal, even if you have to buy it yourself and close with your name, I don't recommend it. But if you're going to do an assignment, you're never taking ownership in your name. You're just taking the risk for the contract. So LLCs, usually within $100 can be set up. You can set it up after you have the property under contract. Most people just don't want their personal name on a contract. So get it under contract, and if it's a good deal and stuff, just assign it over to your LLC and you'll be fine. But it's probably a good idea to have it in the long run. Judy says, what if the owner, it says it's a trust? Great. Mail to the trust. Call the trust. Like, there's still properties that need to be sold. And by the way, trust by past probate. So they'll still be on your probate list. So you'll have a heads up on doing them. So just find out who's in charge of the trust. Okay, guys, I'm getting ready to wrap it up here. Bryce says, tell them for the gyms. Hopefully we can get them closed. So, guys, listen, I appreciate you being on this live with me. So for those of you who know, I come on every Friday night. I am Rick, AKA Dad, Flip with Rick. Zach, you guys know he hosts a bunch of live. He does a lot of interactions with you. And I try to take my hour to share as much wisdom with you can. And just like, I'm still excited 19 years after doing my first wholesale deal. And I love this business. And my goal is to help get many people as started in this business and generating 6-figure incomes without the hassles and the tax of paying the guru. Guys, you didn't pay to learn your alphabets. You shouldn't have to pay to learn basic wholesaling. Guys, it's simple information. You just need to take action. Guys, this is Rick with Flip with Rick. And that's all I got. I appreciate all of you. And I am on every Friday night at 5 p.m. I do my lives. Connect with me on our Facebook group, Wholesaling Houses for Real. We have the YouTube channel. We have Flip with Rick. There's a million ways to connect with me. I really enjoy your time, and I think you guys have a blessed day. Go spend time with your family, friends. Go get that deal. Lock it up. Share it with us. I wish you the best of success, and I'll see you next week. Thanks, guys. Awesome.